Hello, I'm David Scranton, and thank you for watching this video. Today, we're talking about annuities and how Americans are becoming increasingly interested in them as a form of retirement income. So, will they work for your retirement plan? Well, to help answer that question, let's bring in today's guest, Nathan Cox, co-founder of Retirement Income Solutions, a retirement income store located in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Nathan, always great to have you back on The Income Generation.
Hey, thanks, Dave. I appreciate you having me today.
So the reason I wanted you specifically to be here to help out with this all so important topic is because, if I just picked somebody who is an annuity salesman, an annuity agent, they would talk about all the great things about annuities, but of course, no bad things. But as a fiduciary and an income specialist, you find people, I'm sure, that for whom annuities are a great fit, and also people for whom annuities are a bad fit. So as we talk about both the good and the bad, I guess I first want to start by asking you about the people that you first meet with, prospective clients that come with you, they sit in your office, they talk to you on the phone. Do they generally have a decent understanding of annuities, or is it, for the most part, kind of an overwhelming topic that maybe they don't have their arms around when they first meet you?
Definitely, it's overwhelmingly people are not informed enough, or they may have misconceptions, I would say. I think that's the biggest thing. People tend to lump them in one bucket or another. They either know nothing about them and all they've heard is bad things, or they think that they're a answer for cancer. They're an answer for everything. So, but I just think there's a lot of misunderstanding about them in general.
Okay, now you mentioned the word misconceptions. You mind sharing what some of those most common misconceptions are? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people watching this who probably have those same misconceptions. And I'm sure they'll want to hear that they're not alone.
Well, like I said, the misconceptions is that either all annuities are bad or all annuities are good. I think that's the most common misconception, but really annuities in general are just a tool. Okay. I like to use analogies, common sense analogies with my clients. So if you're entrusting a contractor to build a home for you, you're relying on that contractor to have the tools and the ability to get that home built the way you want it. So you can build a home with a hammer and a nail and a saw, but unless you want a house, maybe like Little House on the Prairie, that's probably not going to work well. So annuities in general are just a tool to accomplish a result, and they make sense for some people, and for other people they don't.
So I guess that way financial advisors are like builders because they're building your retirement. And if you think about it, if most builders have the same tools, what makes one build a better home than the other has to do with how they use their tools. And I guess what you're saying is what makes a financial advisor better than the other is how that financial advisor knows how to use the tools that are available to him or her.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, okay, let's first talk about the good side, the benefits. What are some of the biggest benefits and reasons that people might be attracted to annuities?
Well, the fact that some of them can provide lifetime income. A lot of people, that's a major concern in their retirement, is to make sure they have enough income to provide the type of retirement that they want to have. So they can accomplish that in some situations. Reduction of market volatility is another one. I know we'll had a little bit of an extra dose of that so far this year, and that may continue on for a while. Mm-hmm. But reduction of market volatility, of being able to accomplish a certain risk tolerance level, can be useful to use those tools to be able to accomplish that. So there are some benefits to that.
All right, so let's flip the coin then for a moment. There's some benefits: lifetime income, tax deferral, maybe being a little more conservative, at least with some types of annuities. What are some of the risks or some of the negatives to annuities? Because like you said, a lot of people think they're all good or all bad. So obviously, all the things you just mentioned are what people focus on who are in the all good camp. But what do the people focus on that are in the annuities are all bad camp, the risks, the negatives?
Having too much risk within an annuity. There are types of annuities out there that are, basically just insurance wraps for a mutual fund. And a lot of people don't understand the risk involved with those types of investments within those annuities. People need to understand that, that type of an investment, there's trade-offs involved, such as time commitments and things of that nature. So sometimes there's less room to make adjustments in case things change in certain situations. So there's time commitments involved.
Okay. But in the commissions, you say are negative, but the person's not paying them directly because they're getting paid by the insurance carrier. So, are the commissions really that important for an investor to be considering, other than maybe looking at, the bias of maybe someone who's a product salesperson who's not a fiduciary like yourself?
I think that's a big factor. If you're dealing with an advisor that's a commission-based business structure, I can see that might be a problem, because then maybe you get pushed toward one direction or another into a product that may fit or may not fit. So I can definitely see that would be an issue. I'm not saying that just because the commissions are paid from an annuity that's really an issue, because you're not going to get financial advice for free, right? Mm-hmm. It's going to come from some source or another. The fact that it's an indirect source, it doesn't come out of the balance of your account, I think it can be a helpful thing in some cases.
Okay. All right. So annuities, the interest in them seem to have been growing over the last few years as more and more people are turning 65. In fact, as you know, 2024 is the peak year for people turning 65. So do you see the interest in annuities, or at least conservative income generating tools in general, to be growing over the next 2 years as more and more people click over this magical age 65 and either retire or at least go on Medicare or maybe collect Social Security and start thinking about income?
I mean, I believe the interest is going to grow just because of the sheer numbers. I mean, they are a viable resource available. And as I see a lot of the people that I have conversations with, it looks like for some reason people do have more need for income. Of course, there's some different factors there that I'm sure you discuss on the show from time to time, such as inflation and things of that nature. But there's a need for income that people need to overcome. And it's, like I said, it's a viable resource if it's a good fit.
All right. So, our viewers, part of the income generation, over the age of 50, most are over the age of 55. What's your best advice for them in the coming year, 2022? And, what should they be thinking? What should they be focusing on? Let's hear it.
For this year, Dave,
mm-hmm.
in 2022? Really, my best advice I can give to people is if you're nearing retirement, or if you're already retired, I think people really need to be honest with themselves. Really think about what they want and what they need in retirement. How much income are they going to need? And they need to really be honest with themselves about their investments, what they have, and how important those investments are to them. And then take a deep look at how much income those investments can realistically generate. And looking forward to this year, I really believe that's really good advice, Dave.
Great. I think it's good advice too. I completely agree. In fact, that's probably a good bellwether advice, not just for 2022, but, in general. So as usual, Nathan Cox, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you, Dave. We'll see you soon.
Thank you for watching today's video, News About Annuities. If you enjoyed it, please click the thumbs up button to give us a like, and make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel for new content each and every week.